You're standing on the edge of a world you no longer recognize. You are a man who remembers how it used to be. You remember a time when meeting a woman involved eye contact, a shared moment, a nerve-wracking walk across a room, and a conversation that started with, "Hello." You remember when dating was a human experience, messy and awkward, sure, but fundamentally human. It was analog. It was real. It relied on chemistry, on presence, on the undeniable reality of two people standing in the same space. But that world is gone. It has been paved over, digitized, gamified, and monetized. And now, you find yourself single again. Maybe it was divorce. Maybe it was death. Maybe life just took a turn you didn't expect. And everyone, your friends, your family, society itself is pointing you toward this new world. They tell you to get on the apps. They tell you to put yourself out there. They tell you it's a numbers game. So, you try. You are a man of action after all. You've solved problems your whole life. You built a career. You raised a family. You navigated recessions and crises. You figure, how hard can this be? I'm established. I'm fit. I have resources. I have stories. I'm a catch. But then you step into the arena of modern dating, and you realize very quickly that the rules haven't just changed. The game is entirely different. And it is a game that is specifically designed to push men like you away. It starts with the interface. You download the apps because that's what you're told to do. You are asked to reduce 50 or 60 years of life experience, of wisdom, of triumph and tragedy, into 6 photos and a 300 character bio. You are asked to market yourself like a used car. Runs good, low mileage, minor wear and tear. You look at the process and you feel the first twinge of indignity. You are a man who commands respect in your daily life. When you speak in a meeting, people listen. When you walk into a bank, you are treated with dignity. But here, in this digital glowing square, you are just another card in the deck. You are content. You are something to be swiped, judged in a microsecond by a stranger sitting on a toilet or waiting for a bus. But you push through, you play the game, you swipe, you match, and this is where the reality of modern dating begins to grind you down. You match with a woman. She's attractive. She seems age-appropriate. You send a message. You write something thoughtful because that's how you were raised. You don't say, "Hey." You read her profile. You ask a question. You show interest. And you wait. You wait for a response that takes 2 days to arrive, or maybe it never comes. You are ghosted before you even said hello. You realize that to her, you aren't a person. You are an option. You are one of 50 red notifications on her screen. You are competing not with the men in the room, but with the illusion of infinite choice in her pocket. This is the first thing that pushes you away, the realization that you are disposable. In the old world, if you bought a woman a drink and she wasn't interested, she told you. It was a transaction of respect. No thank you. I'm flattered, but no. It was clean. It was honest. Now, you are simply ignored. You are left on red. You are treated with a level of casual rudeness that would get someone fired in the professional world, and you are expected to just take it. You are expected to shrug and say, "That's just how it is." But you know better. You know that silence is an answer, and the answer is, "I don't respect your time enough to type 2 words." Let's say you get past the filter. Let's say you get a conversation going. You move to text. You try to set up a date. And here comes the second barrier, the vetting process. Modern dating for a man of your vintage feels less like romance and more like a forensic audit. She doesn't want to know your dreams. She doesn't want to know what makes you laugh. And factory birth, she wants to know your stats. What do you do? Translation, can you support my lifestyle? Do you own your home? Translation, do you have assets? Are you retired? Translation, will you be around too much or do you have enough money to take me on trips? You feel the calculation happening in real time. You are being measured. And look, you're a pragmatist. You understand that financial stability matters. You aren't naive. But this feels different. This feels predatory. You realize that many of the women in your dating pool aren't looking for a partner. They are looking for a solution. They are looking for a solution to their retirement anxiety. They are looking for a solution to their boredom. They are looking for a solution to the loneliness they created by chasing career over family for 30 years. And you? You are the solution. You are the golden parachute. You sit across from them at coffee, always coffee, because you learned quickly not to commit to a dinner, and you listen. You listen to the list of requirements. She wants a man who loves to travel. She wants a man who is emotionally available. She wants a man who is close to his kids but not too close that it interferes with her plans. She wants a man who is fit, active, cultured. And you sit there, sipping your lukewarm roast, and you think, and what are you bringing to the table? You look at her. She's pleasant enough, but she's tired. She's carrying baggage she hasn't unpacked. She talks about her ex-husband with a venom that makes your skin crawl. She talks about her trauma. She talks about her therapy. She talks about herself endlessly. You realize she wants a fan, not a partner. She wants a witness to her life, someone to fund the third act, someone to validate her choices. She wants the resources you spent 40 years accumulating, the money, the peace, the stability, but she doesn't want to pay the price you paid to get them. She wants the benefits of your traditional masculinity, the protection, the provision, the stoicism, while retaining the benefits of modern feminism, the hyper-independence, the lack of domestic duty, the I don't need no man attitude until the check comes. And that contradiction pushes you away. It pushes you away because you know what a real partnership looks like. Even if your marriage failed, you remember the early years. You remember the building. You remember the shared struggle. You remember when a woman brought softness to your life, not just a list of demands. You walk out of the coffee shop and you feel drained, not excited, drained. You go home, you unlock your door, you step into your sanctuary. The silence greets you like an old friend. You sit in your favorite chair. You look at the phone in your hand, this glowing portal to hell, and you wonder, why am I doing this? This is the moment of clarity. This is the moment where the juice versus squeeze calculation happens. Society tells you that you should be chasing. Society tells you that men are hunters. But society forgets that a wise hunter doesn't chase game that is toxic. A wise hunter doesn't expend 5,000 calories to catch a meal that provides 500 calories. That's starvation math. And modern dating is starvation math for older men. Think about the effort, the swiping, the messaging, the trying to be witty via text when you hate texting, the planning, the driving, the cost of the drinks, the cost of the dinners, the cost of the tickets. And what is the return? Best case scenario? You find someone, okay. Now what? Now you have to integrate. You have to merge two lives that have been solidified by time. You have your routine. She has hers. You like the thermostat at 68. She likes it at 74. You like your weekends open. She has a book club, a wine club, and 3 grandkids who need babysitting. You realize that bringing a woman into your life at this stage isn't just adding a person, it's adding an infrastructure. You are inheriting her chaos. You are inheriting her family drama. You are inheriting her financial anxieties. And for what? Companionship? You have friends. You have a dog. You have a bartender who knows your name. Sex? Let's be honest. The libido isn't what it was at 25. It's still there, but it's no longer the captain of the ship. It's a passenger. You can drive past a beautiful woman and appreciate her without crashing the car. You can go a month without sex and you don't die. The biological imperative that used to force you to tolerate nonsense is gone. This is the secret weapon of the older man that modern dating doesn't account for. Post-nut clarity, but permanent. Your testosterone has leveled out. You are no longer thinking with the little head, you are thinking with the big head. You are looking at these women and you are seeing them clearly, without the fog of lust. And when you see them clearly, you see the entitlement. You see the passenger princess syndrome that has extended into the 60 seconds. Women who believe that their mere presence is a gift. Women who believe that because they look good for their age, they are owed a lifestyle. They call you bitter if you point this out. They say, "Who hurt you?" But you aren't hurt, you're just observant. You're a man who has negotiated contracts, managed employees, and balanced budgets. You know a bad deal when you see one. Modern dating is a bad deal. It asks you to give up your autonomy, your resources, and your peace in exchange for critique. That's the other thing that pushes you away, the critique. You've noticed it, haven't you? The constant, subtle correction. You go on a date and she corrects your story. She corrects your opinion on politics. She corrects your choice of wine. She corrects your clothing. There is a strain of modern dating that treats men not as partners, but as fixer-upper projects. She sees your life, your comfortable, quiet, well-ordered life, and she sees things to change. She sees a house that needs redecorating. She sees a wardrobe that needs updating. She sees a schedule that needs filling. She doesn't want to join your life. She wants to colonize it. And you're 60 years old. You don't want to be colonized. You don't want to be improved. You are finished. You are baked. You are who you are. You like your cargo shorts. You like your old truck. You like watching the same 3 movies once a year. You have earned the right to be exactly who you are without apology. But modern dating doesn't allow for that. Modern dating demands that you continue to do the work. It demands that you be constantly evolving, constantly emotionally optimizing. It's exhausting. You look at your married friends. You see the ones who got remarried. Do they look happy? Some, maybe. But most look tired. They look like they are working a second job. They are managing the new wife's insecurities. They are navigating the Brady Bunch nightmare of blending adult children who hate each other. They are spending their retirement savings on weddings and bailouts and vacations they don't want to take. You see them at the bar, checking their watches, terrified of being late. You see them flinch when their phone buzzes. And then you look at your life. You look at the empty side of the bed. People tell you it's sad. But is it? It's spacious. It's cool. It's yours. You look at your calendar. It's not empty. It's open. It's full of potential, not obligation. You realize that the loneliness the apps are trying to cure is actually a marketing tactic. They want you to feel incomplete, so you'll pay for the premium subscription. They want you to feel broken, so you'll keep swiping. But you aren't broken, you are whole. And this is the ultimate reason why modern dating pushes you away, because it insults your intelligence. It insults you by pretending that an algorithm can find you a soulmate. It insults you by pretending that a text message is a conversation. It insults you by pretending that your value is determined by your height or your hair count. It assumes you are desperate. It relies on you being desperate. But you aren't. You have discovered the secret that men aren't supposed to know. Life without a woman in the center of it is not a tragedy. It is a different kind of adventure. It is an adventure of self-mastery. When you were young, your life was about her, getting her, keeping her, pleasing her, providing for her. Your orbit centered around the feminine. Now, your orbit centers around you. And that feels selfish to say out loud, doesn't it? We are trained to think that living for yourself is wrong. But you've done your service. You raised the kids. You paid the mortgage. You supported the system. You are a veteran of the domestic wars. You have earned your pension of peace. Why would you re-enlist? Why would you voluntarily walk back into the barracks? Why would you sign up for another tour of duty in the trenches of emotional negotiation? The apps are the recruiters. They show you the shiny brochure. They show you the smiling couple on the beach. They don't show you the reality. They don't show you the silence in the car ride home. They don't show you the arguments about money. They don't show you the feeling of being alone while sitting right next to someone. You know that feeling. You felt it in your marriage. It's worse than being actually alone. So you opt out. And there is a specific moment when it happens. A specific moment when you decide to walk away. Maybe it's after a particularly bad date where she spent 45 minutes on her phone. Maybe it's after you get a text that says, "Hey," after 3 weeks of silence. Maybe it's just a Tuesday evening, sitting on your porch, watching the sun go down, and realizing that you are perfectly, completely happy. You pick up your phone. You find the app. You don't just close it. You go to settings. You find the button that they hide deep in the menu. Delete account. They ask you why. "I met someone" is the top option. "I'm taking a break." You wish there was an option for the truth. "I'm too smart for this." You press delete. The icon wiggles and disappears. And the relief is instant. It's the relief of stepping off a treadmill that was going nowhere. It's the relief of putting down a heavy suitcase you didn't need to carry. You aren't being pushed away anymore. You are walking away. And there is a difference. Pushed away implies you're a victim. Walking away implies you are a chooser. You are choosing dignity over desperation. You are choosing peace over performance. You are choosing reality over the algorithm. Your friends will worry. You're going to turn into a hermit, they say. Let them worry. They don't understand the difference between a hermit and a king. A hermit hides from the world because he fears it. A king retreats to his castle because he rules it. You are ruling your world. You start to notice things you missed when your head was buried in the app. You notice the waitress at the diner, who actually smiles at you not because she matched with you, but because you're a regular who tips well and treats her with respect. You notice the conversation with the woman at the library, a real conversation about books with no agenda, no endgame, no pressure. You realize that by leaving the dating market, you have actually re-entered the human race. You are no longer a hunter. You are no longer prey. You are just a man. And women notice this. Have you seen that? When you stop chasing, the energy changes. When you stop looking at every woman as a potential solution to a problem you don't have, you become dangerous. You become intriguing. Because a man who doesn't need anything is the most powerful man in the room. Modern dating relies on your neediness. It relies on your fear of aging. It feeds on your insecurity. When you kill the need, you kill the game. You look at the young men, the ones in their 30s struggling, swiping, simping, desperate for a crumb of attention. You feel for them. They are still in the matrix. They are still driven by the biology you have transcended. But you are out. You pour yourself a drink. You put on a record vinyl because you like the tactile feel of it. You sit back. The house is quiet. The phone is silent. The bank account is full. The mind is clear. You think about the woman you might have met on that app, the one who would have required you to change, to pay, to listen, to compromise. You wish her well, truly. You hope she finds what she's looking for, but you know she won't find it in you. Not because you are lacking, but because you are overflowing. You have too much self-respect to be reduced to a swipe. You have decided that the cost of entry for modern love is a price you are no longer willing to pay. You have looked at the menu, and you have decided not to order. You aren't hungry anymore. So let the world spin, let the apps ping, let the people play their games of status and validation. You are done. And as you take a sip of your drink, looking out at a horizon that belongs entirely to you, you realize something profound. They say modern dating pushes older men away. No, modern dating clarifies what older men truly value. It didn't push you away, it woke you up. It woke you up to the fact that you are the prize, and the only way to win the prize is to take it off the market. You are off the market, and you have never been more free.